it. I love, love, love to see it. Welcome to Creative Emotions. Welcome, 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 welcome. Welcome to Creative Emotions, where you are going to get information. You're going to get encouragement, motivation, inspiration, empowerment, transparency, and you're going to get these good vibes. And it ain't nothing you can do about it, period. That's exactly what you're going to get. And so I just come really quick to give you some motivation, something that is always on my heart, always on my mind, always something that I push, encourage people to do, and that is to look on the inside. This show is called Inside Out, because a lot of times we put so much energy and emphasis on what is on the outside of us, and we're missing it. We are spirit beings having human experiences. And so the spirit is what we got to put more of our energy into. So I just want to encourage you in that. If you have been having any type of issues, just to know you can pull back, put a little bit more into your spirit than in the body, than in the natural, than in the flesh. And so I just want to give you guys a few updates. My book signing is July 23rd, 5:30 to 8 p.m. I am so excited about this. I am so super excited. My book is called I Want My Own Husband, Mindset and Standards on Marriage. And when you think about this book, everybody think it's about me, because it say I want my own husband, but it says mindset and standards on marriage, which means I have taken this book and I've interviewed different people. So these are true stories with name changes, for security purposes, for privacy purposes. But these are different stories with men and women that deal with men or women, and they come to the realization that they want their own mate. The women are saying, I want my own husband. The men are saying, I want my own wife. The men are tired of leading with their money. Of course, they have to, because that's what sometimes women are taught. And so men are tired of women not wanting them for them, whatever that is. Whether he's messed up, he got a temper, there's different things he got going on that you may have to be a little patient with. But we looking for the money. We looking for the provision. And so men, in my story, men are getting tired of leading with that and then not being able to continue with that, but they don't want to be left behind. And so these men are saying, hey, I want my own wife. I don't want to be in the streets. I don't want to deal with all these women. And so they feel how we feel sometimes. And I have women that are dealing with men different ages. You got different stages. You got married men that talk to women and don't let them know that they're married. You have all different type of situations. This book is about a mindset and standards on marriage. How do you look at marriage? What do you want out of marriage? And so at the end of this book, it is more of a self-help. It's more of an accountability. At the end of this book, I'm asking you, do you even want to get married? Do you know what's required of you? Do you know what you're going to need to do? Have you done your healing work? A lot of times we are operating out of a hurt space, out of survival mode. We're operating out of what we think we want until we get into it, and we waste a lot of people's time. And so that's what this book is about. When I tell you this book is so good, be there July 23rd. It's 5:30 to 8. 1800 West 9 Mile is where the book signing is. Right in the lower level. As soon as you come through the door, you will see it. But I'm telling you, this book is going to be for generations to come, because we need to look again at how we're operating in marriages. There should not be this many divorces. It should not be this many hurt people thinking I'm getting married, thinking I'm going to change this person. No, you're going to have to go in it thinking that if this person never changes, if they don't change today, that I'm going to love them. And if that ain't how you feel, then you don't need to get married. And that's just from, honey, experience. Okay, I am divorced, so I know. And I was young, but I'm a grown woman, so I operate a little different now, but I do go back and look at how I operated and how I could have did things different, even though, it is what it is. Marriage is beautiful. Don't let anybody tell you nothing different. All you single women, don't have that mindset about, I don't need nobody. Stop it, because you do. You want somebody. You may be dealing with somebody, and don't be confused with the fact that somebody may not want to be married. Don't get bamboozled into having that change your mind about marriage. Because I know a lot of women that want to get married, but then they deal with somebody that don't want to get married, but they want to be chose. And so they allow that mentality to kind of get over on them. Like, well, I don't really care about it that much, or it ain't really that serious. And then now you're persuaded with a thought that's not even yours. And so I want you to be careful with that. That's men and women. Be careful with that. Be careful with what you say you want and then what it is that you accept, because you got to set that tone. And so I want you guys to come out July 23rd and check out this book. It is the bomb. So I want you guys to know about Poetry and Conversations. I started this a year ago. Poetry and Conversations is so dope. If this is your first time joining, I want you to hit that subscribe button and make sure you share this with your family and friends. If you are just joining, the show is about inside out. I won't be before you long, but I did want to come and bring this. And so Poetry and Conversations, the next one is July 14th. The address is 21573 Grand River, 8 p.m. to 11. And Poetry and Conversations is just that. It's open mic, and then it's conversation. So I have cards on the table. You write down any comments or anything you want to talk about. You write it down. We put it in a bag. I'll call somebody up for poetry, and then we pull from the conversation. I literally pass the mic. And my main thing is we appreciate and we honor everybody's perspective. We don't judge. We don't do none of that. So it's an open space. It's a safe space for us to be able to talk about things that may plague us. If you got questions about men and there's men there, you want to ask questions to get a different perspective. That's what this space is for. And so if you're not doing anything July 14th, make sure you come on down to Poetry and Conversations, the lower level at 21573 Grand River. Again, make sure these are just a few announcements that I'm coming with, and make sure you guys go ahead and share this video. And so when I talk about inside out, I want you guys to just be present with me. Be present. A lot of times we split our attention so much that we miss it. We miss opportunities to really, really be able to connect, really be able to take information in. And so this is what this is about. Have you ever had a conversation with somebody and don't remember what was said? You sitting there like, dang, what was they just talking about? Or they looking for you to respond, but you wasn't actively listening. So now you stuck. You like, yeah. So then you just start, just saying stuff like, oh, dang. Oh, that's what's up. These little words to show that you really wasn't paying attention. And so this is something that we got to do better with. We got to do better because it could be something, that people are trying to get your attention about. People that, may be in a hard space mentally, or it may be something. I believe in the right space, the right time, right place, right time. So if somebody is talking to you and it's about something serious, make sure you're giving your undivided attention. It's nothing like having undivided attention. Somebody that's looking at you and listening to you versus they thinking about when they about to leave and when they about to go, they on their phone. They like, oh, shoot, oh, man, when I finish here, I'm about to bring that in and be present because you're missing it. Just be present. It is so, so, so important to actively listen. It helps you to understand people. And you just, again, be in the right place at the right time. So what are you saying to yourself? If you know, my motto is I speak life. That is my brand. I speak life. No matter what the reality is, we have the power to speak life only. That doesn't mean what you're going through is not the reality. That means you're only going to pay attention to and give attention to the things that you want, which is the things that you want to see. That's not saying your reality may not be negative or it may not be bad, but we just don't put our attention and our energy into it. And so just think about that. What are you saying to yourself? Do you know who you are? Do you know who you are? A lot of people say they do, but I don't know. A lot of people say they do. Me being a self-love coach, people say, I love myself. So then when I name a couple things that would constitute you loving yourself, you'd be like, dang, well, maybe I need to do better. We all can do better. I don't think we will ever arrive. I don't think it's a place where you're going to be like, boom, I'm here. I ain't got to do nothing else. I ain't reading another book. I ain't going to school. I ain't learning nothing else. I don't think we will ever get there. So this is a continuous cycle of learning and evolving. And so when you think about this, do you know who you are? Because when you think about who you are, it will be strong, magnificent, and brave, limitless. There's literally nothing that we can't do. There's literally nothing, like nothing. Whatever you put your mind to. All you got to do is, put that effort into it and do it. It's really that simple. And so that's how I've been operating. Anything I say I want to do, and if you know me, you know I've done it. I've done it. It doesn't matter where it goes. It don't matter. Like, a lot of people look like they want things to be a certain way. Like, I'm going to try this, and they need to just take off. Some stuff, you got to stay on the grind with it. You got to flow with it for a minute in order for it to take flight. You got to put your work in. And that's what I'm learning. Like, every stuff, it doesn't happen overnight. And if it do, you lose it real quick. You lose it real quick. I've seen people get stuff really fast and they lose stuff really quick. So it's always something that we need to learn. But just don't box yourself. Don't allow people to put you in a box. You know, that's one thing that I get a lot when I talk about the different things that I may do. You know, when I said I bowl, you bowl. When I say I ride a motorcycle, you ride a motorcycle. Everybody like surprised. Oh, when I say, you know, these different things, it's like anything I said I wanted to do, I did it. I tried it. I went for it. I was on a whole bowling league. I wasn't on no biker gang or anything, but you know what I'm saying? I just like to ride my motorcycle. I love the way the wind hit me. It's like wind therapy. It's just a beautiful moment for you to just, you know, be. Like, I be in my helmet. I be talking to God. It's just beautiful. It's been one time I'm crying. I had to pull over because I couldn't even see. I was just like, oh my God, it's just so beautiful. I was just so grateful. And that gratitude just kind of took me over. And I pulled over. I'm telling you, tears in my eyes, because I'm just like, man, if you just step back and really look at this life for what it is, and the people that are no longer here with us that just wanted one more day, one more moment, you know, wanted to do one more thing, you can be that advocate to say, you know what, I'm going to live for all the people that couldn't, or I'm going to live for the people that, you know, I know that wanted to, but they got sick and they agreed with the sickness and they did not carry on in this life. And so we have so many choices, so many different things. Don't allow people to put you in a box, period. If you are just joining, I thank you so much for joining. This is a live show. You can call in at 313-266-2811. I am talking about inside out. What is on your inside? What is coming out? What is coming out of your mouth? You know, God talk about what's in the heart comes out of your mouth. So what is there? What is your reflection? What do it look like? What do you consist of? If your ingredients was listed on you, what would people see? Like, if you just pop up like bing, I feel like that's gonna happen. Like, they gonna have like a little beam in the future that just show everything about you. And you're gonna be like, nope. People gonna really be able to judge you like that. So what do you consist of? What is on your inside? What are you showing about yourself? How is it affecting your reality? You know, when you think about what do you believe, a lot of people are not believing their beliefs. They say they believe in one thing, but ain't even trying to test the waters. I said, I'm reading this Bible. I'm going to test this. It said that this is what I can do. That's what I can do. That I'm a little lower than angels. That means I'm a big deal. Like, don't let nobody, what? Stop letting people minimize you. Greater work shall I do? Oh, okay. So you was getting spit and putting it on people's face and making deaf ears hear, people see deaf bodies come up and breathe again? And you say, greater works shall I do? Okay. So I want to see that. And so put that thing to the test. Put your belief to the test. And the only way we can do that is living a life that's conducive to that lifestyle. You can't just be out here doing everything, doing anything, but you do have to be mindful of what you represent. And so I put that to the test. When I see people hurt, I'll be like, come here. Can I pray for you? Do you mind? They're like, no, I don't mind. I grabbed this lady's leg one time. I said, Lord, because it say, you know, don't just laying hands on everybody now. But I asked her. I felt led to do it, and I did it because I seen this lady limping all day. So I grabbed her leg from the front and the back, and I got down and I started going in on this knee. I didn't even know. I started going in on this knee. This lady got up after I finished. She was like, thank you, Q. She walked away, but seeing that she wasn't limping no more, and she started running up and down the aisle like, oh my God. So I feel like, why not keep putting that to the test? People say, I got a headache. Why do you think we're around? We're not around to go drag them to nobody else or just drag them to the church. You are the church. So what are we doing? Oh, I'm going to take you to go see such and such. We gonna go and we gonna get a blessing. Baby, you already blessed. You got it. All you got to do is believe it. Believe it and you shall receive it. I put my breath on that. And so that's what I do. I really try to embody what I say I believe. Like, what's the point? If you're walking around with this power and you're not using it, you're not using it at all. So do you believe what you say you believe in? This is something I want you to ask yourself. Again, if you are just joining, thank you so much for joining. If this is your first time, make sure you hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Every week, you will get something. You will get some motivation, some encouragement, some information, some inspiration, some transparency, some empowerment, and you're going to get good vibes. It don't matter who here. I got the men's edition. I think they'll be on next week. You know, they come with the heat. They come and bring that energy for the fellas. And I allow them this space to be able to, you know, just be transparent. That's what this is about, for us to learn from each other. So did you know that you are strong? And I'm talking about, if you're just joining, I was saying, do you know who you are? And a lot of people are like, yeah, I know who I am, right? Puffing up, I know who I am. But walking around defeated is not knowing who you are. Walking around negative all the time is not knowing who you are. Speaking death on your life and other people around you is not knowing who you are. That's counterproductive to who you are, actually, because we definitely got power with our words. And so strong, because in your weakness, you are made strong. So no matter what comes your way, say to yourself that you're strong. That's just it. 2 Corinthians 12:10, it say, for when I am weak, then I am strong. Because in our weakness, God is our strength. And if you believe in God, then you have to know all things are working together for your good. No matter what. No matter what it look like. Even when it's bad, it's good. Because you got to learn from it. A lot of the things we go through is for us to learn. And so I want you to be encouraged in that. Let your inner shine from the inside first. So have you ever seen somebody that was so beautiful or that was so handsome, but they acted so ugly? Ooh, baby, it's not a good look. And I tell people about themselves quick, like, where that's coming from? It's like, I don't have no moment where I don't have some type of intervention. I'm okay with who I am, though. I'm okay. They be like, dang, I was thinking about that, or dang, how would you know, or dang. Just whenever I have a moment, I don't think we're holding our friends accountable or the people around us accountable enough. Don't be around yes men all the time. It's really, I don't want that. Like, tell me when, be like, Q, now you know you wrong. Get me together. Okay, I need those type of people around me, not just people like, oh, you straight? No, when I'm not, let me know I'm not, and I'm okay with that, because that's what growth is about. But being around somebody that's on the outside, they're beautiful, they're handsome, but they act so ugly. There is a verse for that. In 1 Peter 3:4, your beauty should not come from outside adornments, such as braided hair and the wearing of gold jewelry and fine clothes. Instead, it should be that of your inner self, the unfading beauty of a gentle and quiet spirit, which is of great worth in God's sight. Because if you can be a vessel, if you can be used, you may be the first Jesus, God, source that anybody sees. You may be that first point of contact, but if you always on hinge, or you always on the outside and you're not working on your inside, then you can have opportunities where you miss it. Definitely can. We can miss it. So we got to be careful with that. You see people on social media, they live in a whole different life than what they post. You can't really judge that. But I'm saying that to say, don't really compare yourself or measure your life based on what you see. It's a lot of information. You chew up the meat, spit out the bones. It'll be some things you like, oh, I already know that. But it may be some other things, that you like, oh, well, that's different. That's a different perspective. So don't ever think is I've already been there, done that, or I've heard that already, because it always can be something. But be careful with how you're measuring your life or comparing your life. We got to be very, very, very careful with that. It's a lot of inner work. I know I see people, again, that post and it's every little second of the day. And it's like, when do you have an opportunity to just be? Every moment is for everybody else. I go to concerts and I'm like, dang, is anybody watching it? Is anybody just enjoying like, hey, no, they like this. And you looking through your phone and you there? We gotta do better with being present in the moment. When I have conversations with people, I make sure I put my phone down. I don't care who it is. I make sure, because I just feel like that's so rude on so many levels. When you got your phone and you like, yep. If it's that serious, then you just ain't got no time. I talk to you when you got a minute, But we just got to be mindful of that, being present in these different situations, in these different moments, and then understanding that everybody's life is different. Just stay on your journey. Work on yourself. Work on yourself daily. It's so much work to do. That's why I don't see how people talking about other people. How you got time? How do you have time to talk about somebody else's life, somebody else's marriage, somebody else's children, somebody else's situation, when you got so many things in your own life that you can be working on? Like, I got so many things that I can do. I have to choose to put stuff down. Like, yeah, I'm not about to do that today. I'm just not about to work on that today. But I have things to do. So I feel some type of way when I have idle time and I feel like I'm wasting. Like, I don't have just, meaningless conversations. You want to sit here and talk about people. Like, I'm not about to waste this time, this precious time that I have. Again, this is inner work. I've been working on this for years. I've been working on this for a long time. That means not watching TV, listening to audiobooks almost all day, reading books all the time, like just constantly feeding myself, working on myself. If I feel different emotions that come up that it make me feel some type of way, I go back and reevaluate, like, where did that come from? Why do I feel that way? What made me just feel that way? And so, the Bible talks about that as well. Examine yourself so that you not judged. And so a lot of times if we look at ourselves first to say, you know what, you need to stop playing. You know what, you need to clean that up. Versus somebody coming over your house and they like, dang, because your house a mess. You examine yourself to say, you know what, let me stop. I ain't going nowhere. I'm about to clean my house up. Let me stop. I'm not about to do nothing else. Let me go through these papers. Let me stop and go through my mail. Let me stop. Like, that's something that we have to do. And it's exercise. It's a muscle that you have to exercise so that you can continue to work on your inner man. But it's so important. It's so important. It can bless so many people's lives, once you got that inner talk and that inner work going. What are you saying about yourself? Have you talked negatively about yourself? Have you had thoughts about hurting yourself? Those are thoughts that you got to take down. You cast down any vain imagination that exalts itself against the knowledge of God, period. Take it down. That's the power that we have when stuff come in our mind. Don't add to it. Take it down. Nope, I'm not entertaining that. That is nope. I rebuke that. Whatever it is that you have to say, but that's working on, that's that inside out. That's working on the inside so that you're not walking around mad. You walking around just frowned up. People are like, what's wrong? That's because you in your head. You in there. You thinking about something that ain't even happened yet. And so we just got to be careful about that. If you're just joining, this is just a bit of encouragement to let you know we got to work on the inside out. We got to work on the inside, and then you work on your outside. It's not the opposite way. That inside will work on your outside. And then when people see you, it'll be a glow. It'll be a confidence that you don't have to even talk about. It'll be, that power. It would exude what you really are. And so if you haven't done that time, if you haven't taken that time, take a moment, take a couple days and work on that. Because again, it's mental. A lot of this stuff is mental. I think I posted something the other day and I said, slavery is not physical anymore. It's mental. It's not your hands behind your back. It ain't you shackled hand and foot. It ain't you using the bathroom on yourself. It is mental. It is getting overstimulated. It is taking your will and giving it to somebody else. It is letting somebody else do your work. That's what slavery is. Slavery is, I'm going to work really hard so I can buy this very expensive stuff so that this can validate my worth and I can look like I got it together. That's slavery. That is what it looked like. And so just working on your mental, it's important for everybody that's connected to you. Everybody, literally. But again, having a thought in your mind and then you just add to it. You like, oh, that's why they did that? That's why this happened? Oh, and you don't have no confirmation, no validation about it. You just letting your mind go. Don't let your mind run free when it comes to negativity. Reel it back in. Reel it right back on in. But God will keep you in perfect peace. In Isaiah 26:3, you will keep in perfect peace those whose minds are steadfast because they trust in you. So steadfast is defined as loyal, faithful, and committed. And so you will keep in perfect peace those whose minds are loyal, faithful, and committed. So if you know this is the belief that you're going to run with, right? Because everybody, you got different beliefs. I'm not here to argue with nobody's beliefs. We waste a lot of time with that. And I know God is very disappointed when we sit there and we judge people harshly based on how they grew up. You got all these different religions that bring you back to God. And if people choose to live a certain way that can get them back to this predetermined destination that we all have to be one with God, what are we talking about? I'm not wasting my time talking to anybody about what it is that they believe, if it's making them be a better person. And so we waste a lot of time on that. But God said he would keep us in perfect peace if our mind is stayed on that. God is here. God lives in you, which means you got to do your inner work, which means you need to understand what's in your kingdom. The kingdom of God is inside of you. So what is there? What's ruling? What's reigning? This is a real thing. We have to take accountability. We have to really look at how we're operating, how we moving. Do you like how you moving? Is that a kingdom? Are you the kingdom? Or are you like in the the peasant? What's the peasant area? Like, are you operating in what you are? So this is important. What are you saying about yourself? In Proverbs 18:21, which is, again, that's my brand. I got my t-shirts. You can go on www.thecreativeemotions.com, and I have my I Speak Life shirts. Proverbs 18:21, the tongue has the power of life and death, and those that love it eat the fruit thereof. And so it is what it is. It's really just that simple. You got power. So if you're going to put power on death, you're going to put power on life. Whatever it is, it's power in it because you're going to have to eat the fruit. What we put out is seeds. When we put out seeds, they go in the ground and that becomes your reality. So what are you saying? What are you saying about your life? What are you saying about yourself? And so we're going to speak life. I'm going to leave you guys with a few things. Again, I said I wasn't going to be before you long because I really just wanted to, it was on my heart. And this is something I just wanted to come and encourage my viewers to just really do that inner work. If you are just joining, thank you so much for joining. Make sure you share this video and tag your friends and your family. This is inside out. We got to do the inner work. We have to do the work. So have you dealt with your inner child or have you dealt with your past? This is important. A lot of people operate out of this space and it gives them like the wind underneath them. A lot of women, I think it was like a meme that say when a woman break up with a man, she turn around, now she got 2 degrees, a house and, a car, and she did all this kind of stuff. So sometimes people take bad situations and they use that fuel to move forward. It's okay. As long as you're not allowing things to fester into your heart and harboring unforgiveness and operating in a space of just like nasty, like you got just a nasty spirit with it, or, you just like cocky with that extra, I don't even know what to say, but you know what I'm saying? Like how people can get too cocky and it come from a negative space. You hurt me. So I'm okay. I'm going to show you. Some people are operating of, I'm going to show you. Not because this is what you want to do, not because you're led to do it. It's I'm gonna show you. So it's a lot of people operating and getting the bag and starting businesses and doing all these things because they want to show you. That's not a good space to operate out of. So if that's you, do your self check, and if that's you, change that whole mentality because you better than that. Period. You better. You better. So it's time to awaken to the life God desires for you to have. You were made in his image. Period. I walk around in my own world. I be in my own world. We all have our own worlds. And we come and we collide with each other. And that's why I let people do them. Do what you rather do. Do what you rather do, because I don't want you to do anything for me that you can't keep up. Because guess what? It don't last long. So you just make sure you living fully in your world and you doing everything that you can. So I'm going to leave a few things with you that you can just take a look at your leisure. And this when we're talking about inner work. And just a few things that you can do to work on that. Work on your inner self. And that's self-exploration. So that's just looking at yourself, your likes, your dislikes, and, how you want to move right now. You're not the same person you was last year. So don't try to operate in that same space. It's okay. You ain't going to be too far off, too far different. But again, the different things we go through, it helps us to be the people that we are. And so when you do that self-exploration, you are finding out, you know what? I don't like this no more. I don't really want to do this no more. I stopped bowling. Not because I don't like it, but I'm thinking about my time. I'm thinking about staying up all night Monday, and then I got to go to work on Tuesday. Is that conducive to me having a good Tuesday? Not really. I love the people I bowl with. I love the people I was around. But in this season, I was just like, yeah, I'm done. And that's okay. That was me, exploring my life and what I got going on and how this can better, benefit me. And so it's important that we do that often. We definitely do that often. So number 2, healing and clearing, emotional and energetic release. Work to clear your trauma that's undealt with. I know I had to take some time to really go back and talk to that young Vaquita and let her know, I got this. You good. Go ahead on and sit down. You're not helping right now. You're not helping in our adult life. So I'm gonna take this on. And when I say this, I say it jokingly, but I'm serious. Because I dealt with it. I dealt with all the thoughts that I may have had with the younger Vaquita that I brought into a more mature Vaquita and how it's not conducive to my growth. So I dealt with that. And so if you're just joining, I'm giving you a few things about doing that inner work. And so again, healing and clearing. Number 3, deal with your past and forgive. A lot of times you have to forgive without receiving an apology. You may not ever get an apology, and you have to be okay with that. Because at the end of the day, and the beginning, you holding on to it, and it's affecting you. These people sometimes go on with their life. They go on, and you sitting here like, I ain't gonna never forget. I ain't gonna never forgive them. And yeah, no. Just deal with that. Deal with that and get some outside assistance if that's what you need. Mental restructuring. Develop new ways of thinking. That's going to take work. When I tell you, I got notebooks of notes that I take. When I listen to books, I'm writing notes. I'm writing stuff down. I'm like, oh, and then I'm applying it. I'm not just writing stuff down. I'm not just listening to these books, but I'm applying it. I'm not just listening or reading the scriptures. I'm applying it, which gives me the fruit of my labor, which is reading and taking the time out to really try to digest what it is I'm taking in. And so that helped my mental change. Like when the things that I say, I noticed I used to say certain things and then boom, it happened. I'm like, oh, wait a minute. It was happening so often that I had to pull back like, wait, I just said that was going to happen. Now, some people think it's a coincidence, right? I was just thinking about you and somebody called you. Or you go in the store and it was somebody you had a dream about. Or, you be like, this gonna happen, and then it happened. Or watch they do this, and then they do it. That stuff ain't no coincidence. Those are words that we put out that are seeds that go in the ground, and they're going to have to come up and take root, and we're going to have to eat it. So that's why I'm real cautious. What to say? Boisterous. Thank you, Stephen Kennedy, for watching. Thank you. Thank you. I want to give a shout out to everybody that's watching. Thank you so much. Number 5, energy work. Breathing, pausing, realizing the energy you give off and what's around you. You have to do your inventory. If you notice every time you get around certain people, you kind of off. Don't take that lightly. Don't just be like, oh, it ain't nothing. Or because they've been your friends for years. No, listen to your body. Listen to your spirit. Listen to it because it's real. Stretching, working your body out, going to work out. I have been seeing so many people that are sickly. They may be overweight. They may be stressed out, dealing with depression and all of that kind of stuff, but they're not moving their bodies. They're not, doing anything to help the situation. And so you really have to think about that. Stretching your body when you get up in the morning, working out, whether it's just walking, watching the food that you eat, taking care of your vessel. This is our only legal right to be here in this earth. So if you're not taking care of this vehicle, then, we got to do better. We got to do better. That's what this is for. And so number 7, I'm going to leave you with this. Prayer and meditation. It's very, very important. We're talking about inner work. And so number 1, self-exploration. Number 2, healing and clearing. Number 3, deal with your past and forgive. Number 4, mental restructuring. Number 5, energy work. That's breathing, pausing, just realizing the energy you're giving off and what you're around. Stretching, working your body. And number 7, prayer and meditation. Be dedicated to your process. And we got to do the work. I've been hearing this so much. The pastors that I listen to, do the work, do the work, do the work. And that's what we have to do. So no matter whatever happens from this day forward, it's on you. We can no longer blame other people. And so thank you so much for joining. I'm talking about Inside Out and what that looks like. Make sure you make it over to Poetry and Conversations. July 14th is the next one. And make sure you come to the book signing July 23rd. That is right here at 18000 West 9 Mile Road. I thank you so much for joining. I pray that you are blessed and you know that you are highly favored. I love you and there's nothing you can do about it. Peace.